Hello, and welcome to the PB&J Lunch In. We are so excited that you're here. We're about 20 minutes out from our program start time, and we've already got so many folks that are joining us on YouTube and Facebook, which is amazing. So make sure that you make your PB&J, get a cup of coffee. One thing I want to note as we're getting ready is there's closed captioning for those that need it. So right in the chat, there's a link that's dropped that you can pull up another screen so that you can see the closed captioning for today. So speaking of here, where are people coming from today? We'd love to know. Drop in the chat where you are coming live from. I'm actually based in Los Angeles, sunny Los Angeles, California, with my plant here in the background. So I'd love to see where folks are coming from. Are you in Seattle or Bellevue or Snoqualmie? Drop it in the chat. I know that we've got a lot of folks in Seattle. Yes, and there is this closed captioning link, so definitely drop it in the chat where you're coming from. Linwood, hey, I've been to Linwood. There's a great spa there. West Seattle, hi Naomi, yay, we've got a few in West Seattle. Awesome. I may be one of the only ones down in LA except for my partner here. He's here as well. Awesome. Cedar Willie, Green Lake. Hey, Stab. Yay. Mylene from Seattle. Oh, this is so fun. It's really fun to be here with you all. So yeah, keep dropping it in the chat where you're from. We're so glad that you're here. And like I said, we're starting in about 20 minutes. The official event will begin then. So sit back and relax. As you know, you guys, we asked some community members to send in videos of making PBJs. And as the campaign says, compassion, kindness, and Operation Nightwatch, like peanut butter and jelly, these things go together. So we've got some fun videos that some friends sent in to Nightwatch about making PBJs. So let's roll those vids.
Today we're going to learn how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. First, take 2 slices of bread. Then you put peanut butter on one side of the bread and you coat it well. Put the peanut butter all over one side. Then you take some jam, put it on the other slice. Put a lot of jam all over the second slice. Put the 2 slices together, voila, you have your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Tasty.
Oh man, that's so fun. He made the PB&J pretty well. It looked really tasty. You've got to put enough of that peanut butter, enough of that jelly on there so it can ooze out a little bit. That's what I think. But just to say, what is your favorite way to make a PB&J? Mine actually comes from my days of being a camp counselor, where I would remove the J altogether and I would add the bananas and marshmallow fluff. So essentially making a fluffernutter sandwich. But I don't know if anyone else likes it, but if you do, put that in the chat because we can be friends after this. So alongside this luncheon, we're raising money for Operation Nightwatch through Give Lively, which is a giving platform. So far the campaign, I'm going to reload the page. So far the campaign has raised $127,894. Amazing! Oh my goodness, that is out of 150,000. So our goal for today is that by the end of this event, we will have hit $150,000 in donations. And thank you to those of you that have already given to the fundraiser, to those of you that are actually raising funds on Give Lively. We appreciate your work so much. Over 333 people have given, which is incredible. And so we are so grateful for those that have given today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And continue to share with those of your friends and family so that we can continue the great work of Operation Nightwatch. We've got about, 15 more minutes until the program gets going. So let's get back to the slideshow. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for being here. We've got about T-5 minutes before our official event begins. So take this moment to refill your coffee and maybe grab a PB&J. It sounds like Mari actually has the best PB&J that I've heard of yet. So maybe go and make one just like Mari's. That would be awesome. But yeah, grab your PB&J. We'll be back in about 5 minutes and we'll start the show.
The peanut butter and the jelly on. Then, but you have to put it on. You have to put it on the little bread or the big bread. And spread it around with a knife. Take this part off. Spread it. Spread it. Spread it. Spread it. Again. With jam on it. Jam on it. Spreading it all over.
Can you turn around and tell me what you're making?
We're making peanut jelly.
Today we're going to be making peanut butter and jelly bagels. Let's get started. So here are all of our ingredients. We have the raspberry jam, Adam's creamy peanut butter, a sesame bagel, and a banana to spice things up.
Full step, wash your hands.
Next, cut your bagel in half. Spread your peanut butter and your jelly.
And then go plus ultra and add a banana.
Put your banana slices onto each side of the bagel. And there you have it, PB&J bagels with banana.
Have a good day.
Enjoy!
Yay! Oh, that looks delicious. Welcome. I am Bethany Buer, a board member of Operation Nightwatch, and I'll be your host along with Executive Director Rick Reynolds today. Some of us are watching live on YouTube, others are on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, please consider sharing this with your friends and family. We want to get as many people here today. Right now, I think across both platforms, we've got about 103 people that are joining us, which is a little nerve-wracking, but also very exciting and fun. So please consider leaning in if you're on Facebook and share this out so that we can spread the good word of Operation Nightwatch and the work they're doing in Seattle. Also, one thing I want to mention is that in the chat, you'll see a link for closed captioning. So if you need closed captioning, please click on that link and join us that way. So I'm actually live here in Los Angeles, California. I recently moved down from Seattle, and I'm joined by Rick, who is in the studio in Seattle. So let's bring Rick in here. Rick, come on in.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, I saw in the chat they were wondering what you were going to be wearing today.
Yes, I'm dressed up in my traditional Halloween costume as a clergy.
That's
I was
awesome.
in a bar once, Bethany, and the bartender wanted to know because it was Halloween. He said, "Are you a real minister?" And I said, "Yes." "Are you a real bartender?" And he thought that was funny.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, what's it like today in Seattle?
Well, it's pouring down rain. There were a few sun rays peeking through, but I think we're going to have a rainy day today.
Okay, man. Well, you can see coming through the blinds, we've got some sun here in California.
We don't have to worry about air conditioning up here today, for sure.
No, you don't. Yeah, I had to shut mine off because it is so rickety that it would make too much noise on the call.
Right. Yeah, I turned my cell phone off too because
Yeah,
I've done that before where I'm preaching someplace and all of a sudden my cell phone starts barking at me and
oh my goodness.
I wanted to pick it up and say hello God, but that wouldn't be right.
Oh man, well, because I recently moved from Seattle to Los Angeles, I miss volunteering with Operation Nightwatch, but I'm so happy to be here today, and I'm so glad so many people are here joining us.
I'm so thrilled about how it's going so far.
Yeah, so far. Well, before we get going, I want to thank our sponsors for making today possible and for contributing to our matching fund. All gifts of $200 and more will be matched up to $50,000, and we still have some money left in that matching fund. So if you're going to be giving today, consider that. But we want to say thank you to the Lucky 7 Foundation, University Kiwanis, Lytle Enterprises, Kenny and Marlene El-Hadif, and the Mercer Island Rotary Club. And then also we want to say thank you to our production company, White Noise, that created the amazing videos for today's content.
Thanks. And we have a lot of friends at Operation Nightwatch, and one of them is Reverend Jason Davison. He's one of the pastors at Grace Presbyterian Church up on Capitol Hill, and he's going to give us a special blessing for the day.
Hello, Operation Nightwatch, friends and family, community members. My name is Pastor Jason from Grace Church, Seattle. I won't give up or give in. I'm holding on till the end. I will be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in you. I promise you, Lord, I'm staying in your will. That's a song, gospel song I always go back to. It's an encouragement to me, and it's from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. Paul is writing to a community that is questioning the return of Christ, the resurrection of Christ. What's the point in hoping? And he says, no, Christ is coming. And in light of Christ coming, and in light of Christ's redemption that is here and is growing and will be here, I have some resilience for you. Maybe a little gospel PB&J for your soul. 1 Corinthians 15:58 says, therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. I mentioned the PB&J because I heard that as a part of today's event. And that's a snack that offers resilience, nourishment on the go. And we need that resilience during this season, during this difficult season. We need that encouragement to not lose hope and to always abound, to not just survive, but thrive, empowered by his Spirit. Let's pray. Father, help us to be steadfast, immovable, and always abounding in the work of the Lord, not out of a slavish mentality, but in light of the redemption that is here and that is coming, knowing that our labors are not in vain. Help us, empower us by your Spirit to be generous today, to support Nightwatch, and to continue as a team at Nightwatch to continue serving during this trying season. We thank you for this word and for this gospel. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jason. Before we get going, I want to just be the one to say the words and let you all know that this is a fundraiser. We're coming clean and saying that we're trying to raise funds for Operation Nightwatch today, and that's part of this event. You know, annually at this time, we usually do an in-person luncheon or a breakfast, but because of health and safety and COVID-19, we took that event online, and so that's what that event is this year, kind of like our Hero of the Homeless online event. And so this is our annual fundraiser. So if you're considering giving today is the day to give, as we're looking to raise around $150,000 to continue the work of Operation Nightwatch in the city of Seattle. So one thing I wanted to ask, because we've got a lot of chatter in the chat, which is really fun. We know that people today are part of the Nightwatch community. So many of you serve and give in various ways at Nightwatch. And I'd love to know in the chat, what night of the week do you serve, or what night of the month are you serving at Operation Nightwatch? Do you go out with Michael and Ben and Rick on the street? Are you driving the van? Drop in the chat maybe how many years you've volunteered with Nightwatch. We would love to hear, I would love to see some little chatter from folks in the chat about where you've given or volunteers. How do you serve here at Operation Nightwatch? So drop it in throughout. It'll be really fun. We'd love to see our community hop in. So Rick, I'm going to kick it over to you to tell our first story.
Fun to see all the volunteers that have helped out with this event and that help in so many different ways. You know, I know this is hard to believe, but I'm an old guy. Can you believe that? I can't believe it myself. I keep asking myself, how did this happen? You know, when it came to Nightwatch, there weren't many volunteers and with not so many resources. And there was just one part-time worker and myself, and I had to be the one that figured out food 5 nights a week. And we pretty much had the same thing every night, night after night, the same meal late at night. It was peanut butter and jelly and chicken soup. Yeah. But because the food was mostly donated, and then, you know, I would look before I left for my supper break and say, okay, well, we've got peanut butter and jelly, but no bread tonight. Or we've got bread and peanut butter and no jelly. Every night, it seemed like I was having to stop at the store and buy the needed element to pull off this meal. So I'd go into the grocery store near my house every other night, we'll say, and I would like totally clear off a shelf with all of the peanut butter or all of the jam in my shopping cart. And then one night I remember I literally filled my shopping cart with just the cheapest bread I could find. And, you know, the cashiers, they were looking at me like, man, you really love peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, well, it's actually for homeless people, I would say. And so it just kept going like that. But we discovered something early on at Nightwatch, and that was that everybody likes to eat. And so we added food as an element to just about every activity that we do at Nightwatch. So I'm really sorry that I'm not here with my peanut butter and jelly sandwich ready to eat in the breaks. But anyway, the quality of the food service went up when the volunteers took over the cooking. I don't know. I'm a decent cook, but you know, they had a little more pride. I was, you know, and so they brought good quality food. And then the street ministry started, you know, adding peanut butter sandwiches to whatever they were taking with them, socks and hygiene supplies that going out on the field and blankets and that kind of stuff. So they continue to take peanut butter sandwiches, but I worked out a deal with the Shoreline Little Caesars, so they give us a pretty good deal on pizzas. So I show up at the homeless camp out north, and I show up and they say, "Oh, the pizza pastor's here." You know, I don't mind being called that. But I remember years ago there was a night when there was a new tent city that I wanted to support, and I called my friend Dustin to see what they might need. It was pretty late, probably 9:30 at night. I happened to have a special guest with me that night. It was a community public leader, Jewish, vegetarian. And I said, we got to feed this camp. You know, they're hungry. They said they are hungry and they don't have any food in the camp. So we had the peanut butter, the jelly, the bread to spare, and the hot dog buns. I thought, well, let's stop and get hot dog buns and peanut butter and jelly. That kind of round out the meal for them. So on the way to the camp, we stopped, and the Jewish vegetarian and I went hot dog shopping, which was kind of a unique experience for me. And he was really kind to pay for all this. He did throw a few veggie dogs in there just in case there were some vegetarian homeless people. But so we got to the camp, and it's totally dark. And one person up in the headquarters tent, it's probably, I don't know, probably 10 o'clock by then. And we pulled in and started bringing the supplies out. And he made this loud announcement, there's food. And people just poured out of the tents and gathered around. They started roasting hot dogs over a little fire that they had built in a fire pit. And they had hot dogs, they had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and there was real community, real joy. But you think about in this wealthy Seattle area that there are people that are going without a meal, you know, and Operation Nightwatch is there to feed the hungry, because we hear these words, I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. So every program involves food at Nightwatch, street ministry, shelter program, housing. We all got to eat. In a pandemic, food has impact. Yeah. And we wanted you to see this.
Stacy, that showed them. That showed them how to get you.
A pandemic is not really the highest priority on a homeless person's day-to-day life. Like, they're trying to survive each day, so they're trying to figure out where they're going to eat, where they're going to sleep, where they're going to get hygiene. We've noticed that, just especially in the beginning anyway, that a lot of folks were just hungry. There was a lot of programs that shut down, and thanks to our many volunteers who come in, we were able to serve a warm meal. Of course, it's all to go now due to COVID restrictions, but volunteers are still able to come in and put the love into a nice hot warm meal to warm people's physical bodies, and hopefully just the community they meet here and the assurance they have of coming to find a safe place to sleep for the night.
Nightwatch is very practical. This is another reason why I love Nightwatch. So Nightwatch is really practical and showing its love to neighbors by just doing really simple, meaningful, profound things consistently.
Yeah, as Michael said, you know, we're doing very basic but important work in the city of Seattle. And even through the pandemic, Nightwatch is providing hot meals for folks on the street and also providing snacks and things for people when they're going out on the street for ministry. So remember that your gift helps Operation Nightwatch do the vital work of feeding those that are hungry. Gifts of $200 or more are matched up to $50K. And I actually I loaded the page again and saw that we've gone up by a couple thousand, which is awesome, since starting this. But please consider giving gifts of $200 or more, as they will be matched. And one way to give is to text PB&J to 44321, and you'll receive a link that will then allow you to give securely. So yeah, Rick, come on back in. We'd love for you to set us up for this next video.
Thanks, Bethany. So, you know, COVID, of course, has really messed with everything for everybody, right? And think about sleeping in a congregate shelter at night. We've got a problem in this community. We don't have enough shelter. Our shelter, one of our shelters, we had to thin the ranks down from 50 to 21 folks. And then, even with spreading people out, we still had an outbreak of COVID in the shelter, from which everybody recovered, as far as I know. And but those guys are now in hotel rooms for the short term, and we don't know what the long-term issue is going to be for them. But we are still able to provide shelter every night. And there has never been enough shelter in Seattle in my 26 years of working at Operation Nightwatch. There have been people sleeping outside the entire time that I've worked for this organization. And it's really a shame in a city this size that we're not able to figure it out and haven't figured it out for all that time. So many of the shelters are not taking in new people. Some shelters have been emptied entirely, but we're still able to offer options. Providing shelter keeps people alive. It keeps them hopeful. It keeps them engaged with services on the road to recovery and housing. And we think it's very important. So we want you to think about the role of shelter in helping people on the streets. Check out this next video.
So sometimes I just think we're keeping people alive.
Come on.
It seems so dark, but it's really hopeful and powerful to be that light.
This place is overnight shelter for Operation Nightwatch, and we house up to 10 homeless at night. We give them some place to sleep. We also feed them before they come here, and give them hope. Especially with this epidemics going on, there's not too many places they can go. Kindness and compassion, common courtesy. You know, we give so much common courtesy. We give courtesy, and we get it back from our clients. I got a couple to come. We sit up and talked about 11:30, 12 o'clock some nights.
Just recently, somebody said, thanks for listening to me. Listening is really good medicine.
It's just another day. To me, it's another day caring about somebody else.
Oh, it's really powerful stuff. And just want to repeat what Cedric said at the end of the video. It's just another day caring about somebody else. This is the work that Operation Nightwatch is doing right now and will continue to do in the city of Seattle for one of the most vulnerable populations. So really powerful stuff. If you're looking for an easy way to give, text PB&J to 44321. A link will pop up on your phone and you'll be able to give securely straight from your phone. And I do want to say we're almost to $130,000 so far, which is amazing and so cool. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been giving and sharing today so far. It's awesome. So Rick, I want to invite you back to talk about the impact of housing at Nightwatch.
I got to just say though, Cedric just breaks me up every time I see him. He's such a big-hearted guy, and I just want to thank him, especially for his role in that last video. So one of the greatest feelings in the world is to be able to hand keys to a homeless person that's moving into their new apartment. It's so exciting. It brings tears to my eyes thinking about those moments when their homelessness is being resolved, and now they've got a place to close the door and be themselves and get up when they want to get up and go to bed when they want to go to bed. The senior housing program at Operation Nightwatch serves 24 formerly homeless, low-income seniors, and they're taken care of by our staff and watched out for. And it's a wonderful program, and wonderful to be able to provide that care. And I thought you would want to hear especially from our friend Bill. He says his name is William, but I didn't know who William was, but I know Bill. In this next video, we thought you should hear from him. And be sure and pay attention to the very end. It's just such a moving moment at the end of this video. Thank you. How long have you been living at Nightwatch?
I've been here a year. My name is William Harmon, and I've been at Nightwatch, exactly a year last month.
The best part of my job is handing a key to a new senior that moves in. 24 formerly homeless seniors.
It's true, I wasn't homeless long. I was just homeless for a summer. I guess I was 68, 69.
There's nothing worse than somebody over the age of 62 being on the street.
It's amazing what Marlene is, just amazing.
COVID came through like a whirlwind. We lost 2 seniors. All of the seniors began to question their own mortality.
Marlene saved my life. This is love, man. You can't tell me this is not love. This is pure love. This is all the time love.
Oh, gosh, that video gets me every time because his vulnerability in those tears, the sweetness that he brings about his experience at NIGHTWATCH, it's really powerful. And what he said at the end there, this is all the time love, which I think is really true about the work that Operation Nightwatch is doing. It's really basic stuff that shows up for people in need as an all the time love, which is really powerful. So remember that your gifts provide seniors like Bill or William the opportunity for a safe and dignified life. And gifts of $200 are matched up to $50K. We still have money left in that matching fund. So please consider giving a gift of $200 or above. And as you've seen in the chat, and we've reiterated many times, one way to give is to text PBJ to 44321 or click on the link in the chat. So we're coming to the end of our time today, which is sad, but also want to get back to my PBJ. But we've got time for one more story. Rick, will you come back and join me on the stage?
Well, sure. A lot of times parents want to know, how can I get my kids involved at Operation Nightwatch? I will tell you, it's not easy to do face-to-face with our homeless friends. We prefer that children are a little older than, junior high age even, before they come and have FaceTime. And right now, of course, it's really restricted because of COVID. But we do a lot of activities that can involve children, and if you're creative and inventive, you'll find your own way. So there was a kindergarten class down in Burien, and they had done a sock drive. They heard that we were doing a sock drive in November, which we do every year, Sock It to Homelessness. And this class had gathered something like 1,500 pairs of socks, and they wanted me to come down and tell some age-appropriate stories for the kids and to pick the socks up from them. And so I came down to this school, and there's this classroom. In the back of the classroom, they had this mountain of socks piled up for me to take with me. And I gave my talk, and there was the usual questions, and then we were loading the socks into the car, and one of the kids asks, if they don't have any place to go, why don't they just go to their grandma's house? Which really got me, because this is a 5-year-old's perspective, is there's always grandma to rescue. But unfortunately, our clients don't have those kind of family ties usually. And so there I am. It's like I said, collecting socks is a great way to engage children. The other thing that we see, which is a really wonderful way to give to the community, is to have a cookie baking party, and then baggie all the cookies up in lunch bags, plastic bags, and then our street ministers and our people at dispatch can hand those out to people when they come for food. And we also have church groups that will do hygiene supplies, Christmas cards, Valentine's cards. One church got their kids to make Valentine bags with cookies and candy. And of course, this is Halloween time, so this is a great thing to do with your leftover individually wrapped Halloween candy, is to bring it to Operation Nightwatch. You want to get it out of the house so it doesn't wreck your diet before the holidays. Anyway, and you don't want it, and we need it. So, and then of course, children can also help with fundraising, and we've had this over the years. So here you can see Abigail and her friends. They say, Abigail, me, Ava, Isabel, Manuela, Kate, and Cameron raised money for the homeless people. My mom also got some stuff off the shopping list. So we were standing on the sidewalk holding signs, help the homeless, and taking donations. So it's pretty fun. You can be creative, what's appropriate for your kids. And so that's been just great. And we want to say hi, Bethany. And it's been really wonderful. Too short. It feels like it's been too short.
It does. It's flown by today, which, running through this a few times and getting used to the platform and everything, it feels like, oh, and we're almost done. But as we end our time today, I would love to engage the chat a little bit more and have some folks say what your favorite PB&J toppings are. I saw someone said peanut butter and lettuce, and I just want to say that out loud. I've never heard of that in my life, but have you heard of that, Rick?
I'm all about the potato chips. When I was a kid,
yes, a little crunch.
Yeah, salty crunch on top of the peanut butter.
Yeah, and we all know that grape jelly actually spreads a little bit better than all other jellies. I know that actually from volunteering at Nightwatch. But yeah, write in the chat, what is it that you like on your PB&Js? Banana slices, which we saw in one of the videos. I've heard of full Elvis style, which is like pickles and bacon. Like I said earlier, drop the jam, bring on the fluff, and some banana, and I love me a fluffernutter. Yeah, you got to get that crunch. Crunchy or not crunchy, I can't think of that word. Creamy.
How about grilled?
Chocolate chips.
Peanut butter and jelly. Would that work?
That's a good question.
Probably make a big mess on your frying pan.
Yeah, probably so. That sounds, apple slices and pears. Pears can be sometimes delicious. Well, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining and participating today. We are just so grateful. I want to give 3 ways that you can participate in Operation Nightwatch after this event. 1, you can stay involved by looking at our Amazon shopping list. We have an Amazon shopping list, a wish list. We'll drop the link in the chat, and you can click on that. That's just getting everything that we might need, from our dispatch and administrative needs to like snacks and waters and things like that. So take a look at the Amazon wish list in the chat. And consider giving some of those items. Those go straight to Nightwatch, which is awesome. You can also stop by our website for more information. One way to stay in the loop with Nightwatch is to sign up for our newsletter. So every week a newsletter goes out where staff members write an article about stuff that's happening, which is awesome. And then the last thing is Socket. And Rick, would you talk really quickly about Socket?
Sure. I mean, November 15th, Sunday afternoon, we will be available to receive your sock donations. We're going to do it COVID friendly with a drive-by. We'll have people out there to greet you and to accept your donation of socks right at the Nightwatch building. And you can find that on our website. And it's really a fun activity. It'll be a little different this year since we're probably not going to be able to give tours of the building and hang out eating cookies and drinking punch. But
awesome. Well, we're going to close out today. Before we go, I just refreshed the page and we got to $134,603. That is how much we have raised so far today. And we know that the donations will keep coming in. Our goal is 150. Thank you to all of our donors. Like 350, some of you have donated so far, which is incredible. So we want to say thank you. And I'm going to get back to my PB&J. I don't know about you, Rick.
Well, I gotta put on my cape.
Oh man, the cape.
I gotta put on the cape and go up the hill and mask up, and then I'll eventually get to food sometime today.
Absolutely.
Well, I always manage to do that.
Yeah, same here. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And Rick, that cape is incredible. Thank you to our sponsors and our donors that gave today. We are so pumped. Have an awesome day, people. Yeah, put it on.
All right.